So we're on 58th Street and 38th Ave. We're gonna go down 38th Ave, and then to Barriott Avenue, and then I'm going to connect to So let's do that. So we're gonna go down 38th Avenue. So yeah. So that's kind of like what we're doing today, you know. Kind of like the revelation of it, you know. Try to get to the principles of how we're gonna get done, you know. So that's kind of like what we working with today. But like I was saying, the questions that were asked is very good questions, and we gonna answer them. And we are. Everybody asked me if I'm looking for volunteers for the event. Yes. There will be a sign-up sheet and different shifts that you could do. For Saturday's event, I might need people to set up for. We need to start setting up at. Give me 1 second. So we need to have people start setting up for the Saturday event. We need to start setting up at, because if the event starts at 7:30, we need to have the building clean up by about, let's say 3 o'clock. So we need to start setting up at 3. So everything should be set up. So if we set up at 3 o'clock, we should have everything together and ready to go at a certain time. So that's the reason why I was looking into that. So we on 38th Avenue and 57th Street. Let's continue. So yeah, like I said, we need to set up at a certain time. So all right, that's what we looking into doing, and try our best to kind of like get that out the way and get that done, you know. So that's the working thing. We will be posting the information about volunteer opportunities. I'll be starting the paperwork next week, so I'll be making posters about that, and then I'm gonna make Manhattan Neighborhood Networks post one on their studio, and then we're gonna get that together for you guys. So that's kind of like a little thing that we're working with. So, you know, try my best to kind of work out and, you know, do what we do. We on 56th Street and 38th Ave. So that's kind of a good shit. And we overdid it though. So that's 56. Yeah. So that's... We probably have to go up, but I don't know if it's gonna let me go up this block. Let's see. I think it's gonna let me go. Yeah. So we here. So we on 38th Ave and 55th Street. So let's continue. Yeah, we're gonna continue up 38th Ave. So let's go do that in Encino. It's kind of like a thing right here. So yeah, so like I said before, everybody asked me this question, so I'm gonna answer it. It's a couple of questions. There's another lady that she's a big fan of me. She asked me this question: do you allow your woman to do voodoo in your house? No, I would like to tell you the truth. I will not allow it because I rebuke the woman and I'll kick her out my house. I would not allow that witchcraft demon in my house. To be honest with you, I would not allow that around my kids. I will not allow that around my family. If my family believes in God, you gotta respect that, you know? But as far as that type of witchcraft shit, no. And you're putting candles and voodoo dolls in my closet, nah. I have to rebuke that. I probably have to burn the doll. So I'm not really like into that stuff, you know? I have to rebuke that stuff out of my house and everything. So that's kind of like, you know, I will not date a girl that's believing in the witchcraft shit. I will not do that either. I would date a woman that's believe in God and believe in prayer and, you know, prayer type of woman like Jamaican woman in their 30s or whatever. And, you know, certain type of things I will not tolerate in my house. So let's get that straightened, you know? So that's kind of like what it is. I will not tolerate that voodoo stuff. So let's be realistic with that part. So, yeah. So I will not tolerate that shit. So, yeah. So I will not do that shit. I stay in my grind and shit. So, yeah. I will not allow it. And with me, I'll probably like, to be honest with you, with me, I wouldn't allow it in my house, and I will rebuke the woman and tell her come out, you know. I think that, and also like I told Kiana, like we sat down and we talked about it. I told Kiana that, you know, the best way to do certain situations is that I have to ask questions about if you believe in Yahweh, because one thing that when you do to an interview, a person will ask you, do you believe in Yahweh? Do you believe in God? Are you Christian? Are you religious? You understand? And if you're not, then, you know, right. So that's certain type of things that we ask, you know, in our interview. You know, that's what it is. You know, I'm not gonna ask stupid questions and get away with it, no. But I'm gonna ask you a truth question about your life that you're gonna have to answer. So I'm not trying to like be ridiculous about it, but I'm gonna try to be like, okay, if you believe or if you don't believe, it's up to you, you know? So that's a situation that you guys have to look at, you know? We on Woodside Avenue. See what we doing. We gotta turn up here and go up this block here. So it's kind of like that kind of solve up everything, you know? So, yeah. So we're gonna go up Barry Avenue and then, yeah. So we kind of like solve up everything that we need to know, you know? So, yeah. So we're gonna stop here and turn up this block. We're gonna turn this block and then we good. All right, I'll be back in 15, 20 minutes. All right.